Greetings. This is TKTRAV, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. On 2 videos ago, the homie Pedro asked in the comments section if the Goetia is more or less powerful and effective than Quimbanda. So I'd like to address that here. Ultimately, I'd like to say it really depends on your intention, number 1, and it depends on your experience level, number 2. Okay, so in certain ways, they are very related. There's even a Quimbanda Goetia. I should have looked that up, but there's a book that is the Goetia and Quimbanda put together. I believe it's written by Michael W. Ford. I'll double check, and when I do, I'll put the name of the book right here with the author. So check that out if you're really interested in that. Otherwise, the Goetia, from my experience, is more of a work of self-improvement. Like, on one hand, it seems more like a genie in the bottle kind of thing, where you find all these demonic spirits who are going to do what you ask them to do. But what it turns out is, like, you get addicted, right? You summon one, you find out, oh shit, this works. Then you do another and another and another until you go through all of these spirits. And by the end of the whole scenario, what I've come to realize is these are all portions of myself. It's noted that the pineal gland has 72 chakras. No coincidence. These are the 72 conspirators of Set from Egyptian literature. But these are all 72 fragments of the pineal gland. Right? The pineal gland is sometimes symbolized by the shape of the Merkaba, and you look at the angles of the, I believe it's the inside angles, are 72 degrees. Coincidence? I think not. I think that going through the Goetia is a process of awakening your internal power, right? Like Vasago, for example. Summoning him has unlocked in me a certain degree of clarity and clairvoyance to help me really read the tarot cards and clarify psychic powers, right? It's not like, oh, I'm fucking Superman, but it works for what I need it to work for. One of my favorites is Citri, number 12. And he's like a pimp, pretty much. He will find love, well, not love, he'll find lust and allow you to see any desired person naked. Now, I'm not unrealistic. I didn't use this like crazy, just, you know, whenever I was interested. And he came through every time, right? He literally, when I first did the ritual for Citri, bought a female here who kept accidentally showing me parts of her body, like, oh, I got my nipples pierced. Oh, check this out, check that out, right? A dude came to me with this girl that we've been talking about, and he shows me on his phone, like, nudes that he sent her, right? This stuff really works. Who else? Andras, number 60, what are you, 62? Andras, a great avenger. Okay, I had an issue with a certain person that was really bothering me, a certain person in authority, and I couldn't escape them. So I went to my spirits and they took care of them. They're not dead or hurt, but they've been separated from me to where they're no longer an issue, and it worked like a charm, which is why I made a totem for that spirit on my wall, right? Who else? Furfur. I summoned Furfur. I believe he's number 26, something like that. He, or she, I should say, and Andras is a she as well. But Furfur, when the hurricane came through, protected me and my family. People up and down the street had their houses flooded, trees falling down, power lines, etc. We didn't have a single problem because I painted the sigil of Furfur outside the house, and I summoned him and did a ritual. These things are real. Who else? Who else is a good one to talk about? There's so many. But anyways, I think that the Goetia is a good way to really exercise your magical power, to exercise your will, and to have small victories that just build your confidence in magic, to show you that, yeah, this stuff is real, yeah, this stuff works, keep going. But as you keep going, you realize, wait a minute, I'm doing this. I'm the one that's doing this. Now, King Solomon, supposedly, in the literature, in the legend, he summoned them all, and they all helped him. And he betrayed them by imprisoning them all in a brass vessel and cast it into the sea. The brass vessel being the pineal gland, the sea is a symbol of the subconscious mind. But he said the only reason he gave for doing that is, he said, because they were very prideful. They were full of pride. And I can understand, if you're unlocking all these different powers of self, it's very easy to say, yo, I'm the shit. I'm the Superman. I run this. I do this. Da 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 da. And that's not the type of attitude you want to have when you're working a spiritual practice. Because like I said before about the divine feminine, she's going to put you in your place. You got to remember that spirit and magic and energy, that is her. And you have to respect the fact that you're not the one that's in control here. You are the one who is observing and understanding and coming to a certain level. But you got to respect the energy. You got to respect the power. Because if you do walk around here with too much pride, you're going to fall on your face. And the higher you go up in this game, the harder the fall. That's why I said before, working with Pomba Gira 2 videos ago, you want to make sure you're pure of heart, that your intentions are good. Right? If you know that you are corrupt and you have selfishness that cannot be solved, I would not recommend it, right? I mean, nobody's perfect. I'm not saying, oh, you watch porn, oh, you like to drink and smoke, and I'm not saying that, because those are human things. What I'm saying is, you're trying to dominate other people without really having compassion and understanding that these people have their own journeys to go through, right? And if you're going to use these spirits to dominate these people, know that there will be a backlash, right? What I'm saying is understanding the laws of cause and effect and really seeing things from all angles. Because if you don't, you might offend some of these angles, right? And the energy that you put forth is going to bounce right back and hit you. This I've also learned working with the Goetia, right? They're very good with love as well. They're very good with, trying to procure someone's heart. But you got to be careful, because like I said, if you don't come at magic with a pure heart, you will feel the backlash. Right now, I'm currently undergoing a strong concentration of the heart chakra. And I'm having to forgive a lot of offenses that I felt were done to me. But what I'm learning is, it's not that I need to forgive these people. It's I need to forgive myself, right? Because oftentimes when we're upset at ourselves, but we mask it by blaming it on other people, right? We all do that. And chakra work is very, very important, especially if you're working with magic and spiritual technology. Because whatever your vessel is clogged up with, it's going to come out, right? It's going to come out. The whole reason I went through the 72 demons of the Goetia is because I was trying to reclaim a lost love, right? And I was looking for anything that would work. And what I've come to realize is things change, right? Things change because they're supposed to. And that I don't have control over reality. But by submitting myself to spirit, I am put exactly in the flow of where I need to be. And where I need to be is where I get everything that I want. It's a contradiction, it sounds like. But you release control to gain control. Because don't you believe that your higher self knows what you want and what you need? Right? Your higher self already understands what you want and what you need. So if you submit yourself to your higher will, you are now thrust into the stream of perfection. That is divinity. Everything you do is divine, right? Because if you didn't do what you've done in the past, you wouldn't be brought to where you are now. There are no mistakes, there are no coincidences. But what you must understand is that you don't know shit. I don't know shit. I don't know anything. All the books I read, all the magic that I practice, all the experience that I gather, it's only a fraction of 1% of all the knowledge and wisdom that there is in this vast universe of the subconscious mind, which we all exist in. We all exist in the subconscious mind of God. So instead of believing that I'm this powerful magician that rules my life and everything, I'm not that. I'm just someone who's willing to take the time to learn and study about the environment that I'm in. And in doing so, I place myself in a higher vibration, and in that vibration it brings me things that I didn't even know that I needed. Right? When you focus on higher faculties, right? Because you got the 7 chakras, and most people are based in the lower 3, right? Survival, sex, and, you know, I got to maintain my energy any way possible. When you're bouncing back and forth in those 3 energy centers, you're being selfish, and that causes blockage, and you don't really get all the great things that you can get out of life. But that very next step up is the heart chakra. Compassion, forgiveness, love, everything that Jesus Christ is all about. When you start to focus on this central area of your body and the color green, and it's Friday, which represents Venus, which also represents the heart chakra, right? Every day is a representative of a planet and a color and an energy sequence, right? Monday is the moon, and that's purple. Tuesday, that's Mars, and that's red. Wednesday, that's Mercury, that's orange. Thursday, that's Jupiter, and that's blue. Friday, that is Venus, and that's green. Saturday, that's Saturn, and that's black. Sunday, that's orange, and that's the Sunday. Yeah, orange, that's the sun. Each of these have a different energy frequency. And if you look into the Goetia, especially the stuff that Crowley wrote, he really attributes everything to days and times and the zodiac. But where was I going with that? Yeah, if you come up above to where the heart chakra is, and you have compassion, and you understand that people do things in order to make themselves happy. They do things that they think are going to make them happy. You got to understand, nobody's your enemy, right? Nobody's out here trying to hurt you. People are doing what they think are going to make them happy. Even if that means that, oh, they're hurt and they're trying to hurt you. They're doing that because they think that's going to make them happy. So if you have that understanding, it's going to cause you to not be so upset by other people's actions. Like when you go to work and you get this customer who is racist or just an asshole, you got to understand, maybe he's going through something right now. Maybe he doesn't know any better. So by you resonating on a higher frequency and not responding to those stupid ass actions, you actually change that person a little bit. So when he gets in his car and goes home, he's like, well, damn, maybe I shouldn't have done that, right? And that's just a little spark, but it's better than what he's been getting all his life. So yeah, that's quite a bit of things to talk about. Quimbanda, that's it, Quimbanda. Extremely powerful practice, right? I'm gonna pause the video, I'll be right back. Okay, so when you're talking about Quimbanda, from what I understand, this practice is a lot more demanding and a lot more intense. Quimbanda is very much more of a lifestyle. Okay, and I'll go ahead and forthright be very honest. I don't know as much about Quimbanda as I know about the Goetia. But I do have some references. From what I've learned outside of YouTube, there are two books that I have gathered a lot from. One of them is called Pomba Gira. The other is called Ishu. That's E-X-U. They're both by the same author. And his name is Nicolas de Matos Frisvold. Okay, I got it written down. But anyways, these two books give very detailed insights about the culture of Quimbanda and the practices and the deities, the two major deities, and that how each one of them break down into the 7 kingdoms, and there's different facets of each deity that represent a different need for humanity. Most people believe, like most of the African religions, that you have to be initiated, and my belief is that I don't have to be initiated in anything, because from day one, God has told me to study any and everything to better myself. And on top of that, Pomba Gira has been working with me, and I'm not an initiate, but I do feel her presence without a shadow of a doubt. Like I say, her results are immediate, so I can only imagine what Ishu does. I'm not even ready to work with him yet. Just like when working with the Clipoth, I primarily worked with Lilith, not so much Samael. But you know, I always get along better with females anyway. That's just me. As far as Quimbanda being more powerful, my opinion is yes. Yes, it is more powerful than the Clipoth. The Clipoth, no, excuse me, more powerful than the Goetia. Yes, it's more powerful. God damn. Sorry about that. Ooh. Yeah, I just got a phone call in the middle of the video here. But yeah, I would say Quimbanda is more effective than the Goetia if what you're trying to receive is physical effect. The Goetia, from my understanding, is more about self-improvement and ascension of self, of self-deification. Because I know at this point, if there's any problem or situation or goal that I need, I know the spirit to go to make that happen. Now, coming into the Quimbanda, I'm learning that I'm just a little boy before massive gods, right, who have real ultimate power. And it's not to be taken lightly at all. Like, what I'm already sensing from her is if you step into her world, this is a long-term thing. This isn't a wham bam thank you ma'am. I mean, she might use you for your energy. And I've even read about cases where this has happened. I mean, hell, she took me for a whole day. A whole day. I couldn't leave my room. The mysteries, the secrets of Pomba Gira. If you play with her, you're going to find out what I'm talking about. Maria Padilla primarily is the one that's been working with me. I invoked her for one thing. She done took me somewhere totally different. Okay? This is a living practice, right? This isn't something that you have to awaken, like the Clipoth or like the Goetia. Quimbanda is something that's already here and established and thriving. This is something that you step into that world and it's going to take you for a journey. And if your heart is not ready, you're going to be ripped to shreds. So I hope that answers your question, Pedro. If you feel that you are a sufficient enough magician to not destroy yourself, go ahead and research her. Read those two books that I mentioned, Pomba Gira and Ishu by Nicolas de Matos Frisvold. you can find the PDFs, link. And also just, if you haven't heard anything else yet, check out the video by Hood Mystic and the video by Dark Sidism. Matter of fact, I'm going to link those two videos in my bio to this video. And yeah, do what thou wilt. I don't believe in any devil or any monsters out here trying to get you. This is all about you reclaiming your divinity and your higher self leading you through a journey to reach the heights that we have fallen from. And now is the time to do that. Now is the time to do that. The old regime is now powerless. Their power only exists in our minds. And I've cleansed my mind from any of their power. And they tell me, thank you for your time. Even if it's 5 minutes, thank you, right? I get peach cobbler, I get hugs, right? I get free food and all these things. Because a lot of them understand who they're dealing with, right? And that's not to brag. What I'm saying is that the energy has changed. The guard has changed, right? And if you're one of the awakened ones, one of the living gods, you need to stop being scared and step up to your power. Because we're at a crossroads now, and Quimbanda deals with crossroads. Ishu is the crossroads of 4. Pomba Gira is the crossroad of 3. Like, you know, when you're driving and you got to turn left or right. It's like that with the feminine energy. You have to do this or that. What you gonna do, right? You got to make a choice. Either you're gonna fuck up or you're gonna step up. With Ishu, it's a 4-way street. You can go this way, that way, this way, that way. That's a little bit easier to deal with, right? Pomba Gira and all the divine feminine energy, it's just like that 3-way crossroads. You'll find times if you're really dealing with a strong feminine spirit like Lilith or Pomba Gira or Kali, you're going to be faced with decisions. Do this or do that. But know what you do, I'm waiting, I'm watching, and I will respond. Right? And most often the ones that you're uncomfortable with or your ego's feeling a bit pressured with is the right answer, right option. Practice with these entities and you're going to see what I'm talking about. This feminine energy manifests through the everyday females that you meet. Through all feminine energy and contact in your life, they manifest and speak to you through. So not to put all women in one category, but all women are vessels through which this energy expresses itself. Just like in the Matrix when that Agent Smith could possess any random person. It's like that. The feminine, divine feminine energy can express itself through any feminine person. This may challenge your ego, but that's the whole point. It'll cause you growth. Now I'm going to get off of this video because we're going a bit too long. But subscribe if this has helped you, like the video if you enjoyed it. I am TKTRAV, aka Travis Magus. This is LVX777, the lightning that comes from heaven. And I bid you adieu, ×2. Peace.